Maybe you're dating somebody or even just building some sort of friendship, and you think they might be a dismissive avoidant. And out of the blue, all of a sudden, they stop answering you. It's like they just haven't really been in contact after having some sort of consistent contact. And you don't know if they've ghosted you or if they aren't doing so well or something's up on their side or in their life. Well, what would a secure person do and how would they respond if an avoidant stopped contacting them? Well, in today's video, I'm going to break that exactly down, and hopefully you can get these key takeaways and start applying them and implementing them into your own life too. The first step is, if this is happening and this is happening frequently, you have to pause and you have to tune into yourself and you have to decide, what is my need here? Okay. What am I willing and okay to put up with in a situation like this? Perhaps I'm speaking to a fearful avoidant watching this video right now. And perhaps you're quite independent yourself and you're like, you know what? If somebody needs to go take a day to themselves and not talk to me for a day or two here or there, I'm cool with that. Maybe I'm talking to an anxious preoccupied watching this video right now. And maybe you're like, I cannot take that. That's really stressful for me. I'm okay if somebody needs an evening to themselves for a few hours, but beyond that, that's really not a fit for me. I have a high need for certainty. I have a high need for closeness and consistency around that closeness. Or perhaps you're securely attached and you fall somewhere in between that. So, first you have to tune into yourself and ask yourself, what is actually okay for me? How long am I okay with somebody pulling away, going missing, moving in a different direction, not being available before it actually feels extremely uncomfortable? And by allowing it over and over again, it's actually a form of self-betrayal. So you have to tune in, introspect, and define a boundary there for yourself that's clear and true. The second step, so that's a few steps kind of broken up there, but that's the first major theme, right? The second major theme is to then go communicate that in an open-ended way. So you would want to approach your dismissive avoidant loved one and you want to say something like, hey, I've been doing some thinking and I know sometimes that you have this big need to have your freedom and autonomy and have that space. And I can appreciate and respect that. But for me, in an ideal world, we're okay to have that freedom and space. And let's say you're the fearful avoidant, pretend, and we'll say, you're like, you know what, if you need a day here and there to just do your own thing, I'm cool with that. But when it turns into 2 days, that's a lot for me. And for a romantic relationship, I'm really looking for more closeness than that and more consistency than that. And what do you think about that? So at the end there, that's what I mean by an open-ended boundary. What you're essentially doing is you're trying to create space to have a boundary negotiation. And you're doing it in a healthy way where you're honoring the person's needs. You're validating that you see those and understand them. I understand and respect your need for freedom, autonomy, etc. But then you're also turning around and you're saying, but for me, these are my needs. I need more consistency. I need a little more closeness than that. And what do you think? So now I'm opening the negotiation process here. Okay. And it's very powerful to do this because it stops the dismissive avoidant from feeling like you are no longer allowed to have 6 hours to yourself. You need to be in contact with me every 4 hours, bare minimum, right? That feels very pressuring, very forceful. And obviously for a freedom loving, autonomy loving person, like a dismissive avoidant, that will often push them in the opposite direction. So you're opening it. You're saying, hey, these are my needs. I get your needs. There's a little bit of a mismatch here. What do you think? How can we sort of, discuss this together? And this brings me to our next step, which is to let them know that you don't have to have this perfect match in the situation, but let this person know, I want to work this out. I want to find where we can find a happy medium. Let's talk about it. And you're opening this for dialogue. It's really important that when you're in that space, you try to make sure that you're regulated emotionally so that you can feel comfortable and safe having this conversation. If you're somebody who's truly interested in helping others while also securing financial freedom for your future, there is a limited time option to join our 50% off certified relationship coach program. And this is a 12-week program where you can create financial freedom, work from anywhere in the world, and truly make an impact on other individuals' lives by becoming a certified relationship coach in just 12 weeks. Throughout this entire 12 weeks, you will learn all of the tools that you need to discover somebody's attachment style and help them heal and change their attachment style if they are insecurely attached so that they can become secure and build the best relationships of their life. On top of that, you'll learn all about the subconscious mind and how to actually rewire our painful limiting beliefs, our painful behavioral patterns, and help your clients learn their relationship needs, as well as the needs of their loved ones. You'll also learn how to build a thriving coaching practice and set yourself up for long-term success. You'll learn all of the business tips and tools you need to build funnels, leverage marketing strategies, and really thrive in the marketplace. Even if you have absolutely no coaching experience, this certification will give you everything you need starting from scratch to become a thriving relationship coach. You can find more using the link down below. Then when you come up with an outcome, so let's say you have this negotiation and the dismissive avoidance says, okay, yeah, I can work on being more available. Try to make it specific. Try to say like, okay, cool. Like if you need an evening to yourself or the rest of the day to yourself at some point, just say, hey, I'm feeling a little burnt out or a little overwhelmed. I'm just going to take some time to myself. Let's chat tomorrow, right? So tell them specifically what you need. You want to get as specific as possible with that deadline of time, right? And if the person pushes back a lot too, you can have some flexibility. You can say, look, if you need like, a day and a half, that's fine. As long as it's, once in a blue moon, it's not something that's happening week over week or every 3 or 4 days. So to have this conversation, and it's really important that you take yourself into consideration, okay? And that you're able to like know what's okay for you and what's not. Because what you don't want to fall in the trap of is like saying, yeah, that's fine, and saying that's fine in the moment, only to later feel like it's not actually fine and then feel frustrated or resentful. And then let your loved one know, okay, we're going to try our best to stick to this. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We may like go outside of the lines of what we sort of agreed to sometimes, but we're going to do our best on this together and make it like a collective thing that you guys are working towards as a unit. Then your job as an individual is to make sure that the needle is moving, to sort of monitor that area of the relationship for progress, because you've asked for a need, you've had a discussion, you've taken yourself into consideration, you know what you're okay with and not. And then of course, if there isn't progress, the person isn't putting in the effort, you don't see the needle moving, then you may have to consider walking away from a relationship if it's just not serving you. And especially if that's a very important need to you, if it's very high on the totem pole of like what's most important in terms of connection for you or in terms of a romantic relationship as a whole. And then you would want to, really show up for yourself there. But the vast majority of the time when things are approached in this form, usually we'll see momentum build in the relationship. Somebody understands your needs now. You see them through from time to time. And it can foster a lot healthier communication in a relationship as a whole. So I hope this makes sense. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video.